Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. Hello, hi.
Every married man I've ever talked to has told me, bro, do not get married. Have you guys?
This has been very apparent lately because Ric Flair also was seen on camera saying that, like someone asking him, oh, I'm going to get married. And he's like, why would you do that? Yes, in America, men are getting destroyed left and right in marriages, and women have so much leverage over men. I can see why it's hard for men that are married to tell young men, just jump in the same boat as me, guys.
Guys talk
In
to
the States.
blue-collared workers that are married, they'd be like, fuck, I hate my fucking wife.
What up, this is Solo Traveler ORD, back with another video review. So all I gotta say is that it feels good to be back. I'm sorry guys,
Welcome
that
back,
it took
brother.
me a while to release some new videos because I was out traveling and enjoying myself with the
Doing the things that we tell men to do. Enjoy your life, make money, and travel.
family. I finally took some vacation from my primary work and also from YouTube. So I was just releasing shorts, as you guys can see, for those of you that was following along. But yeah, now I'm finally back in the saddle to get back into a lot of these videos for all of y'all, so you guys could have a good start off the year right with a few good laughs and so forth. So let's go ahead and jump into these videos. And the whole subject about this video is the reason why a lot of black men are leaving the States to find love elsewhere.
He said black men, and this video does cover a little bit more black men, but I think it's all men. This has been a thing for Asian men for a long time. Asian men have always traveled and got wives other places. I don't think it's a weird thing for Hispanic men. It's not a weird thing for white men. And black men, it's not a weird thing for them either. Like, I think all men of all races and creed all end up doing this, especially the Middle Eastern type men and stuff too. They usually get wives from their country.
There's a reason for that. So before we go ahead and get into the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell while you are here. I would greatly appreciate it. So let's get into it.
This man said, why every time I meet a woman, she's behind on her bills or she needs help with a bill? If that's something that you're questioning and it's bothering you, upsetting you, that you have to bring it to the internet, you don't need to be meeting women right now.
Bruh. Well, I gotta stop it right there. That right there is enough to piss any man off.
Correct.
Because these women are broke. How can you even have the audacity to even say something like that? Saying that basically you're expecting the man to just take care of you. First date, pay everything. This is why men are leaving. Why men are saying, forget this, why am I here? What is the purpose if these women are trying to use up our resources? And these are the women that's quick to say that foreign women are broke. When these women here are way more broker than foreign women, at least with
broke, dusty, musty, crusty.
Dumb. They may not have cash on them, but they're not in the negative like a lot of these women in the States, where not only do they don't have cash, but they have tons of debt, which is worse.
And if you are not financially stable, you do not need to be worried about being in a relationship.
What are your thoughts on the following statement? Dating for women is like shopping, while dating for men is like a job interview that he's paying for.
Yeah.
If you do not have money as a man, what is your worth? And I'm asking this as a genuine question.
Women want 1950s men on 2025 salaries. And I need to talk about it. It's your girl Remy Renee here. And today, we're going to do something different. We're going to do the math. Because there's a conversation happening that no one wants to have, honestly. Women want providers. They want protectors. Men who pay for dates, buy the ring, fund the wedding, put a roof over the family's head. And there's nothing wrong with wanting something like that.
True.
But here's the problem. Economy that made that possible doesn't exist anymore. The salary that supported that lifestyle is gone. And men are being judged by standards that are mathematically impossible for most men to even meet.
I mean, yes, only about 15% of people in the United States make over 100 grand. If you think about that, that means 85% of people are making less. I mean, yes, 70 grand can raise a family if you're not in California.
So today, I'll show you why both men and women are frustrated, why dating feels broken, and what we're actually dealing with in 2025.
Women want
Diabolical out there.
1950 providers while clinging on to 2025, 2026 social rules. And that is a problem, because they need to understand that if you want that type of man, that means you're going to have to be that type of woman as well to be able to define that type of provider man.
Like the last video I covered where they're saying women evolve. They want to be evolved now, like these new beings and creatures, but they didn't want men to evolve. But because they evolved, they feel like they're superior to men.
So these women, they want everything. They want the cake and eat it too. I hate to use that saying because I love cake and so forth. But but it is what it is. They want everything, and they think that they should be given everything without providing anything on their end, which is sad. So this is why men are saying, "Why am I here?" When we know that when we go to another country, the women there are going to take care of us, no matter what. Whether it be a woman that has money or doesn't have money, she's still going to treat us right. Correct. As we take care of them.
I'm sorry, but I see why black men aren't dating black women anymore. I really do. I mean, the maturity level speaks for itself. Most black women stop maturing at the age of 12.
Jesus
I'm sorry, they do. And y'all want to be like, oh, we're the most educated. Not no more, boo. Check the stats. Asians are 77% more educated. Whites are 54%. Oh, and then they go, oh, no. We mean within our demographic, we're more educated than the black man. But they still make more than you. So it doesn't matter. You can keep your certification to Albies or whatever the hell you're certified for. Nobody cares. But again, that's not true no more. That's actually not true no more. Y'all are not the most educated group. So now what's your argument? But for being just straight B words. Because I'm sitting here and one of my favorite YouTubers posted, not YouTubers, Instagram people, TikTok, I don't know what he is. He's everywhere. But he posted a video about this woman, and she was talking about she was waiting on her husband to be a bad guy so she can leave him. And then she goes on to say, actually, women, he don't gotta be a bad guy for him to leave him. If you're just not happy, you should just leave.
Yep.
Are y'all serious? And so now I hate him because my algorithm went straight to that. Then I see a black girl in the car crying, talking about how being a wife, she lost herself, and being a wife, you can't be who you are. I'm like, well, who are you? What do you want to do? What can you do outside of your marriage that you can't do inside your marriage besides be a 304? That's pretty much it.
That's literally the only thing they can't do.
That's pretty much it. And then those of you black women that are married, you guys have the lowest marriage rate in the world. So for those of you complaining and saying, oh, I don't want to be married no more, girl, you know how rare it actually is to be a black woman and to be married? I'm not saying oh, that's should be your life goals, but to actually achieve it instead of this dumbass education stuff y'all keep talking about, you know what I mean?
Or being, a 4x4 or a 5x5.
Y'all need to wake up and see this. You know what I mean? It's like y'all are online crying to us who we really don't care. We just make fun of y'all. That's it. We don't care. So y'all
we do.
Online, imagine you're at home and you see your husband online crying, talking about how much he hates you and hate being married to you. You'd be like, why would you do that? And it's the same thing. Why would you come on here and tell us this? Go tell him, or even make the video and just send it secretly to him so he can know how you feel. Why would you come on here and tell us this? It doesn't make...
It's not just black, just women in general, just chronically stuck online and stuck on their phones. It was my aunt's 80th birthday, my second aunt's 80th birthday yesterday. So we had a big get together at the restaurant, the family restaurant that we always go to. And all of the young couples that were the youngest couples, they weren't having any conversations. They were just sitting there on their phones, just playing on their phones the whole time, while everybody else mingled, had conversation and things like that. Young people nowadays, not just women, but young people in general, are just stuck on their phones.
Make any sense. So now that my algorithm's messed up, I'm just like, you black women, the mindset again, 12 to 14 years old, because why? What do you mean you don't want to be married? And then you got the ones on here oh, you can't convince me to have a child. Girl,
nobody cares.
Nobody want to have kids with you.
Nobody cares.
Yo, she spit a lot of facts. One thing I'm going to say is that it's all because of feminism. That's what caused the destruction of our family unit. These women had accepted it, and this is where we at now. And the sad thing is other women applaud them for destroying their marriages.
Yep.
And they will sit there and make it seem like the man is the worst thing ever, and they will play the victim. And then look at them a year later, they are trying to go back to their husband, their ex-husband, when it's too late.
Every married man I've ever talked to has told me, bro, do not get married. Have you guys talked
In
to
the States?
blue-collared workers that are married? They'll be like, fuck, I hate my fucking wife. If you've ever worked in a warehouse, then you know what I'm talking about. Those guys that will pick up mad shifts just to avoid their wife. So I always pose the same question to all of them. Bro, why do you hate your wife? They'll be like, bro, I'm working 12 hours, 16 hours just for her to fucking spend all this shit on Target, Starbucks. I fucking hate that bitch. Bruh. I'm out here slaving my ass off just to keep the roof on over our head, and she doesn't do anything. And I'm like, damn. And he's like, yeah, to make it worse, if she's asking me how my day is, I already know she's gonna ask me for some fucking money. So I'm trying to lighten up the mood and bring some positives about being married. I'm like, bro, at least you get consistent sex, like consistent buns. He's like, consistent sex? I have to fucking beg her to get head and to get fucked. And she doesn't even do it right. They all say the same thing. The more you ask her, the more she holds off. And you can't cheat because she'll take half of everything.
Again, this is when men pick the wrong woman, and overwhelmingly men seem to pick the wrong women. We have bad pickers too, tell you the truth.
And then you can't leave because she'll take half of everything. I'm in a fucking loop, in a fucking cycle. Bruh. And you know what's crazy? A lot of them, I'll ask them like, yo, do you think like you're getting cheated on? Some of them be like, yeah, I'm for sure getting cheated on, but you know, I just do this shit for my kids.
That's where I think men and women differ greatly. You heard it. He stays in there, doesn't care if she cheats or whatever, because he loves his kids. He needs to give his kids the best chance possible.
No. Like, imagine you want to leave your marriage and you're like, fuck, she's going to take half of everything. So, like, you literally have to stick through it. I want every man watching this, go and ask other men that are married, bro, should I get married? And 99% of them would be like, no.
See, that's just the weird thing, right? American culture. Again, from my culture, it's a bit different. If I went to all of my aunts and uncles and asked this, they already tell me, why aren't you fucking married already again? Like, where's your kids? Like, my family is so different on this. My family thinks having, you know, a loving wife and a loving husband is probably one of the most important things you can do in life. Finding that person moves you even further in life. That's how we see things. So, like, most of my family wouldn't say, no, never get married. They'd say, yeah, you have to find a good woman and vet her very well. But a good woman can do very well for you. That's how my family would kind of go about it.
If you're not prepared for her to take half of everything, no.
That is the problem here in the States. Women know that once they get married, they hold the keys to the kingdom. They're in control. They are holding on to the man's balls, because if he did not set up a prenup, she knows she has the final say, because the system is basically going to help her out.
Correct.
You know, because most of the time the women make less than men.
And this is why we always say prenup, prenup, prenup. Even if you don't believe in the prenup and you want to get married, prenup.
That's the thing about it. As much as women jump online and say, oh yeah, we're the most educated, we make more money, stop that. Because if that was the case, when it comes down to marriages, you know, you guys wouldn't be breaking or at least leaving your spouses because of how you feel, you know, destroying your marriages and getting alimony, things like that. Because if the shoe was on the other end, which we have heard other women have stated who has money, that when they have to pay alimony, they don't like it. Nope. They think it's unfair, that it's a problem. But this is what goes on in the States. And then at the same time, these men are miserable. They're not getting nothing, not even a cooked meal. This is horrible. You know, this is why men are leaving, going to another country. This is why most men, after they get a divorce in the States, they never deal with another American woman again. And when they do get married, they're getting married overseas to another woman, because they know that they're going to get something back in return. Even if they get a divorce, he still at least got something out of it while they were together. Gotta mute this due to copyright reasons. But yeah, it looks like we may have to catch some flight to Japan. Doing her thing. So brothers, like I said, man, you guys have the option to choose what you guys want. Do you want to continue staying in the West, dealing with what's going on here and be miserable? Or do you want to leave the country and expand your lifespan? Expand your life at least another 10 to 15 years, dealing with someone that's not going to stress you out and also is going to take care of you, give you the right nutrients to continue staying alive.
And shout outs to our brother ORD. We're not saying being a passport bro is the end all be all. Some people might find relationships here. And I know most people, 90% of people, aren't going to leave the country. Like, that's also another thing. But the men that really want families, that have some resources, that are willing to go see other places, willing to go experience other cultures, I think you're going to have the best chances of getting a good family, a good woman, and having kids. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.